Hi there. Guess what? I just remembered I didn't do. Every single week, I set this up on my phone, and then as soon as I go live, I remember that if I don't close out every single other app on my phone, I'll lose this video and it will cut out halfway through, and I will still be talking thinking like it's recording, and then I'll have to redo the whole thing. So that's literally been probably 4 times in a row where I've like logged on or started the video and then I've had to go through and close out every single tab. So thank you for being patient. Okay, cheers to you. Cheers to Thursday. This is, I'm not gonna lie, one of my absolute favorite wines of all time. First of all, it comes in a can. Second of all, it's rosé. And third, it's freaking delicious. I'm going to tell you all about this at the end of the Facebook Live, and we're going to talk about my wine sponsor. But cheers to you. I just love drinking things out of a can because, you know, classy. Okay, so thank you for being here. Welcome to Wine About It. I am here with you every Thursday evening at 5:30, and it really is my honor to be here with you. And I get it. The reason I'm here is because I understand. You want to be healthier, you want to eat better, you want to have more energy every day, you want to wake up and feel good. And at the same time, there is so much nutrition information out there. It's like overwhelm, panic. Like, where do you even begin? I mean, for me, so overwhelming. It's like, you know what? I'm just going to eat a bag of potato chips because that's easier than trying to sort through all of this nutrition information. And like, you know, it's on Facebook, friends posting about this and they tried this. It's the Facebook ads coming at you. Try this and do this. It's like a simple Google search for is, you know, avocado fattening, and it's like 1,000 articles. Like, oh my God, what do? You know what? I'm gonna eat some potato chips. That's what it feels like. So the reason I'm here every Thursday is truly to try and help sort through some of that nutrition misinformation. I understand like how confusing it is and how overwhelming it can be. And so that is the point of Wine About It. And I also would like to say, you know, if you want to whine about it with me, either drink wine or, you know, send me messages and complain. That is totally fine. I'll probably agree with you. Okay, so my goal here every Thursday is to just provide you with really simple tips, things you can actually implement into your life. Nothing I talk about is complicated, scientific. I mean, it is underneath, but I present it, I try and like talk about it in a way like that you can actually use it in your life. I do really simple recipes. I write my own recipes, and I'm very lazy in the kitchen. So you better believe those recipes are like 3 steps, 6 ingredients, and hardly any cooking other than like maybe you turned on a burner. But that's what this is all about. That's what I'm bringing to you every Thursday night on the Facebook page at Basically at Meals. And I'm just so glad to be here with you. And thank you for being here. Okay, so my name is Hayley. I don't know why I said it like that. I'm the owner and founder of Basically at Meals, which is a meal delivery service right here in St. Louis. We do healthy, delicious delivered meals. Hi, Bonnie. And the goal of that, the reason I founded that company is because I saw, after I got my degree in Nutrition and Exercise Physiology, working as a nutrition educator out there in front of people, like telling them like, you know, this is how you eat for health and this is how you cook easy at home. And people are coming back to me saying, well, yeah, I don't cook. And that's not negotiable. I was like, okay, there has to be another option. And a lot of the other options were really bland and boring food. And it was like, you know, I'd rather die before I eat another piece of cardboard health food. Like, okay, so that's where basically Meals was born. I started meal prepping for people and truly understanding that like this is the taking it to the next step. Like I'm not just telling you that you need to eat healthy or that you need to cook at home. Like here it is. It's done for you. It is delicious food. I work with a chef, my chef Kiki. She is incredible. We have, in my opinion, and a lot of my clients' opinions, the best healthy food you've ever tasted. I'm going to quote a client later, but teaser alert. Okay, spoiler alert. We make vegetables craveable. Our food is really good. And we deliver it to you. So literally there are no excuses for not trying it if you just cannot get cooking done for yourself at home. And I totally understand that. So, yeah, that was enough about me and basically at Meals. So tonight we're talking about like achieving real success through client stories. So I'm going to kind of run through some of the things that people I've worked with struggled with before and how they got through that and what they look like now, like what happened to them in that process. And what I really want you to take away from this is that you have options. It's really easy to get stuck in your story of like meal prepping is impossible and healthy food doesn't taste good. And the only option I have is the drive-through, because all of these people that I'm going to talk about tonight were there and they figured it out for themselves. And they like really made that decision to have a better life and feel better every day. And so what I'm here to say to you is that there are other options. And this is nothing to do with like me and my business. This is just letting you know that there are ways out of how you're feeling right now. Really, truly, my passion is to educate you and bring you up to speed on like what's going on in the nutrition world as far as like what is best for you and how to actually get that into your life. And so that is what we're talking about tonight. So before we really dig into it, cheers to you. Can't wait to tell you about this wine. All right. Okay. So one of the biggest issues that people I've worked with struggle with is that healthy eating does not taste good. And I cannot tell you how many people come to me with this and it's like, oh, I don't eat healthy because it doesn't taste good. And I just want to let you know that it doesn't have to taste bad. One of the biggest issues is that, especially if your version of healthy is like you cooking at home, you just might not know what you're doing. And I say that in the nicest way possible. Like really, there is no one teaching you how to make vegetables delicious or how to make chicken not dry. Like really, that's not a class we take in school. If your parents didn't cook, if you weren't like hanging out with, chefs who know how to cook things that aren't in butter and make them taste good, like you probably don't know how to do that. And that's totally, I didn't know how to do that for a long time. I used to eat really disgusting food and just choke it down because I was like, well, it's healthy. And I still do that sometimes because I don't like to waste kale. But yeah, like it's a big issue. So I do want to let you know that all food can taste delicious. Bad food can taste delicious, and healthy food, I mean bad, like it's not gonna, make you feel great. And healthy food can taste delicious, and it really can. I have known people who like literally won't eat vegetables, and they taste some basically at Meals, and they're like, really? Like, that's good for me? Like, these are vegetables. I'm eating vegetables. You got me to eat vegetables. So if you are one of those people, I want to challenge you that it actually can be good and you can enjoy it. And I'm being dead serious. So that is just a little mind bender there. If you hate vegetables, if you think you hate health food, I want to challenge you that you might actually be able to enjoy it. And it's probably not the food itself, it's just the way it was being prepared. And hi Seth, it was just the way that it's being prepared, and it's the way that you've been served it in the past. Okay, the next biggest thing that people I've worked with struggle with is their life is hectic. They're just really stressed out. They have no time to get meal prep done, or they spend their time meal prepping and then they have no time to do other things. And so basically each day looks for them very, wake up kind of stressed because there's a lot to do. You might have, a family, you might have kids that you have to get up. You probably have a job that you have to get to. Maybe you have like some stuff to clean up around the house in the morning. You've got to pack your bag or pack your kids' bags. You've got to get everywhere, every person in the right place at the right time, and you have to be at the right place in the right time, and you have to get dressed. And by the time you have time to think about yourself, it's like 11 a.m. and you're like starving. Like, what am I gonna eat now? And then the same thing happens in the evening when it's time for your next meal. You're running around, taking care of everyone else, taking care of everything else. You've got errands to run, the house to clean, and what are you gonna eat? Like, there is no time to figure that out. And really, like, a lot of people end up putting, by default, their health and their well-being last on the list because they're putting everything else ahead of that. So they're not like actively putting their health last. It's passively being put last because they are focused on taking care of everything and everyone else first. And in the same vein, it's like if they do try to put their health in that lineup somewhere, they end up sacrificing time with their family, time with their friends, or time doing like other important tasks like, getting your car's tires rotated, which I've never done. I don't know why that popped in my mind. Or, spending time with your kids, just like doing things, maybe it's like going for a nice hike on the weekend and enjoying the weather. And now you missed out on that really nice day because it's spring and it like never know when it's going to storm. So that is like the other biggest issue. The time, the hectic, the stress, the running and the spinning of always like trying to get everything else done, and like your health and your well-being are always falling last, and you're like, you can't ever get out of that cycle. It's just kind of one of those vicious cycles that just leaves you constantly like not getting what you need. And then the last thing that my clients have struggled with is they're either eating and it's junk, I almost said a curse word, or they're not eating because they don't have any other options. So you want to be healthy. You understand that that's important. But your options are limited to, the drive-through, and maybe you try to eat healthy, or maybe you're just like, you know what? I don't have any other options right now, so I am going to eat this quarter pounder or whatever. Or it's like, I want to be healthy, and my only option is fast food, and I don't want to do that, so I'm just not going to eat. And I'm just going to get home tonight and be starving, which then you probably end up standing in front of the pantry and just eating out of the pantry, which I talked about today. If you're not on my email list, I sent out an email about that today because I was laughing about it. I was thinking about that today. Like I went to get lunch out of my fridge, and I was like, if I didn't have this, like what would I be eating? And I just realized that like, and I don't even know if I consciously ever realized this before. If I don't have food in my fridge, I just eat out of the pantry. And, it's not always junk food. Like, sometimes I'll just be eating, like, nuts, like trail mix or something. But, like, if I don't have a healthy option in my fridge, I am eating out of the pantry. Which isn't great. That's not a fun eating experience. And it probably doesn't really taste that good. It probably doesn't really make me feel that good, but depending on what it is. And I probably, like, leave feeling like I really was gypped on my last meal. So, yeah, you're either eating like total junk and you're hitting the drive-through, fast food, or you're just not eating because your only options are to eat junk and you don't want to do that. And then, you get so hungry, you just end up eating whatever you have anyways. So, to like move from there to the next place, which is really like taking control of the situation and finding options for yourself. These are some of the things that some of my clients have said. And I'm actually going to read some of these. So bear with me if I'm like stumbling or looking at a paper. Okay, I've been eating Hayley's meals for almost a year. Best thing I've ever done. My cholesterol and LDL was getting higher for the past 5 years. The doctor always said, eat foods lower in fat, but I don't know how to shop for that. And that rhymed. That was good. This year, after my yearly blood work, my cholesterol and LDL is now normal. I contribute it to eating 5 meals a week. I love these meals. I always try all 5 that she introduces each week. I've been eating things I would never have tried and loving them. Thanks for making me healthy again. That's from Debbie. And Debbie has been probably hands down one of the most incredible people I've ever worked with. She is very proactive and always like, she's just also very like generous. She always is like, talking to me and letting me know everything, and just an incredible person, but very much like she found something that was going to work for her and like has really stuck with it. Like she didn't just like wishy-washy, like I'm going to try this out. I don't know. Maybe I'll try this out. Like she tried it and stuck with it, and she has stuck with it for over a year now, and like has really been seeing the benefits and just like feels so good. Like her life has really changed because of this. And not because of me or my meals, because of her decision to make something happen for herself. Hi, Laura. So she's a amazing example of like what is possible if you make a decision and stick with it. And this goes for like what one decision do you think could help you get through some of the things that you're facing right now? Because I guarantee you're facing a couple of things. If you can list those out and look at them and say like, is there one thing I can do to like combat all of these at the same time? And then the next step after that is to like actually decide to do that, which is the hardest part. It's really easy to look at everything and kind of say like, I'm not, this would solve everything. And then just like, yeah, and now I know that, and not do anything about it. So the most challenging part is to actually take the next step and make that decision and then commit to it for X amount of time and like see if it works. Okay? So this next quote is from my client Melanie, and she said, I kind of said this earlier, but she said it makes vegetables craveable. And this is one of the biggest things that we hear from clients, and then female clients who have like given the meals to their husbands. They're like, oh my God, you got my husband to eat vegetables. And so this is a testament to the fact that like, I am not the only one who knows how to make vegetables taste good. So vegetables can taste good, and you can eat them, and like you can get your spouse or your kids maybe to eat them. It is totally possible. And so like I want you to just know that. I'm gonna move slightly because it looks like my network connection isn't great. Let's hope this doesn't fall. Okay. We're moving closer to the Wi-Fi. And we're also, okay. Hopefully that works. All right, so that is a testament to the fact that vegetables can taste good. It is all a matter of like figuring out how to do that for yourself. Part of the reason I do this is because there is so much like information online, and it can be really hard to figure out. But try out different recipes online. Like literally just go on there and do a little mini experiment and see if that works for you. See if you can find something that you like or that your husband likes, and continue experimenting until you really get to a place where you feel comfortable and you found a couple things that like your family will eat. That's huge. Okay. This is a good one. I save so much time and hassle in the kitchen. Better yet, I get to spend my evenings with my family and not cooking. So that's another big issue that I see is like the people, we all want to be healthy, and we either, you know, if we're cooking at home, we're either sacrificing like time with our family, or we're sacrificing time, or we're sacrificing our health because we are just don't have the time to like make those healthy meals. So I mean, just think about like what one decision could you make that would maybe free up some extra time with your family. And maybe that is like just less time on social media. Maybe instead of like browsing Instagram like I do sometimes too much, you use like that hour. Instagram has a timer on it. I don't know if you knew this, but I figured this out one time. Instagram has a timer. It will tell you like when you've reached your certain time limit on the Instagram. I don't know if like Facebook does that or not, but if you put that on there and like just actually see how much time you're spending on there, maybe that time can be used to make a grocery list. And maybe you just divide it out, like each day is for a different task, because there are a couple tasks involved in the meal preps process. So if you're spending an hour a day on Instagram, maybe you cut it down to 30 minutes, and 30 minutes each day is devoted to picking your recipes, making your grocery list. Maybe there's some other things in your house that you could get prepped ahead of time, like you've got something in the freezer you could thaw out, or you've got something in the freezer that you could throw in the crock pot and then like put back in the freezer, like now it's cooked. So taking like these little baby steps throughout the week maybe to get you prepped for the next week can be huge. And usually it's about just like those small little things, those small little decisions that you make that like free up your health and your time on the back end. And so yeah, those are like real things that my clients have done and real transformations that they've seen. And this isn't anything to do with anything, but I am just so grateful to like work with all the people that I work with. They're all so incredible and just like very much taking action for themselves. And I think that's so important. It's something that we all want, but we don't always choose. And so this is all about just like empowering you to choose that for yourself, because you can, and that option is available to you. And I just want to remind you of that. Okay, so I don't want to get too cheesy. Sometimes I cry. I was with my team last night, and yeah, I almost cried like a couple of times. I'm almost crying now just thinking about them. My team is so incredible. Shaquila, Tia, Tanya, you guys like literally make my life, and I'm so grateful for you. Okay, getting way sidetracked. All right, so what I really want to tell you about is how good this wine is. Where is the front of it? Okay, so this is, what is it called? 14K canned rosé. Oh my God, I love that name. And you guys, so my wine sponsor, Sarah Savinson, she works with Scout and Cellar, but she is an incredible person, and we have been actually working together for a while now. So before she sponsored me here, she was a sponsor of a mix and match meal prep class I did with Danielle Lobo of So Happy Health. And so she actually brought this to one of our classes, and I was like head over heels, like immediately. Anything in a can, I'm obsessed with. I don't know why, like it's the convenience of like, it's a single drink, it's in a can, so it's like portable, even though like I don't leave, like when I don't know, it's all in my